I have several pieces of breaking news. Let's start with the Kings won a game. Oh my gosh. That's actually 2 in 3 games, so exciting. Let's pretend that none of those other games ever happened and move forward. Other breaking news, we scored a goal first. We did not allow a goal in 2 periods, and that is the first time in 24 periods that the Kings could say that. Dear God, that's depressing, if you really think about it. Let's not. Let's just celebrate the other pieces of breaking news. Yay! It started out like every other game. 48 seconds in, Jeff Carter got a penalty, and it wasn't even 48 seconds. It was like 10 seconds, and then it took us another 38 seconds to be able to actually touch up. And I had no hope, honestly. It took them less than 30 seconds for me to be like, oh, okay, well, this is our season. Awesome. Thankfully, the actual Kings were not quite as pessimistic as I was about the whole thing. And they had a pretty good penalty kill. They had some pretty epic penalty kills coming up. Oh my gosh. About 5 minutes, 45 seconds in, we have a power play, and that's just as depressing as you'd imagine it is, because among the things we did right tonight, the power play was not one of them, and still needs a serious amount of work. So, like I said, I'm gonna try and not focus on the things they did wrong tonight and focus on all the amazing things that they did right. Oh my gosh, scored a goal. What? Didn't even know that was a thing anymore, guys. I'm almost kind of not really kidding. So, first goal goes to Alex Iafallo. Thank you for stepping up. He, Kopitar, and Braun had a fantastic line tonight, always doing beautiful things. And this play also had a lot to do with the screen at the front of the net, but just some pretty nice stick handling there by Iafallo. I was impressed. And a 1-0 lead is something the Kings had not experienced in a long time, so it gave them quite a bit of excitement themselves. Yay! Iafallo on the board. All good things are happening. Jake Muzzin gets a penalty with a couple of minutes left in the first period. A bit of a weak call, not really Jake's fault there. So it could have very easily become one of those LA Kings periods where you're like, yeah, you get a goal. Oh, and kind of almost immediately bad things happen. Thankfully, Phaneuf actually got into a fight with Foligno. That's so much fun to say. Phaneuf and Foligno got into a fight. I love it. So they got into a fight actually before Jake Muzzin took his penalty. So that kept the Kings' momentum going. Everyone just seemed really riled up and they had energy. And that's something that I have not seen from the Kings in a few games. So that was really good to see. So during the intermission, the cutest kid in the world is also on the ice, and it kind of gives everyone hope that if this cute little kid can go out and play hockey, then so can the LA Kings, right? So they come out for the second. They kill the rest of Muzzin's penalty very easily, and 46 seconds into it, they get their own power play. 48 seconds into the first, Carter gets a penalty. 46 seconds in, power play. It's a weird reverse deja vu? I don't know. But it's a Kings power play, and so nothing really happened. It really is the weakest part of their game, and I know they're not an offensive team and never really have been, but yeah, something to work on. For now, we'll move on. Power play ended uneventfully. Pearson stuck up for Campbell when one of their players got just a little bit too close for comfort. You don't mess with the goalie, guys. We know this, and so it was a whole game of the Kings really playing for each other, and I think that's what made the difference. It seems like that to me anyway, that they had each other's back tonight, and I had seen the last couple of games that they really didn't have Campbell's back because of all of the goals. There were third and fourth attempts where the Kings just couldn't clear the puck for him, and so tonight to see Pearson stand up, that was really great. So we got another penalty kill, except a minute and 11 seconds into that, or remaining in that, we get the 4-on-4 and we get a power play. Yay! I don't know, 4-on-4 is exciting. I like to switch things up a little bit, change the rhythm a bit, and it seemed to help because then after that, Jeff Carter got a goal. Guys, it's like raining goals. We've had 2 of them in 2 periods. What is happening? This is so exciting. So Carter gets this. He's been kind of whacking at the net all night, and Dustin Brown has been standing in front of the net all night too. So when you combine those 2 things, good things happen. And Dustin Brown standing at the front of the net has always made good things happen, whether it's via a screen or via a tip in. I love that he is brave enough to park there when most other players in the team are not. So, loving Dustin Brown tonight. You're going to see why even more as we come into the 3rd period. Because, evidently it wouldn't be a Kings game if we didn't have some kind of excitement. So 29 seconds into the 3rd period, they score. And it's 2-1. And you're starting to wish that all of those really close chances the Kings had in the second, like so many close chances, you're sitting there thinking, how did that not go in? The net was wide open. Bobrovsky was so not even gonna end. That's gonna come back and bite us, right? And 29 seconds into the 3rd period, just when you got your hopes up that they were winning 2-0 at the end of the second, yeah, it's maybe the 3rd period is just gonna be all downhill, except it wasn't. It went straight back up. The Kings did not let it affect them at all. It was so great to see. Thank you. Thank you for keeping the momentum. They were really chippy. They were on it. They were really on it. They seemed awake for the first time in a few games. They really seemed to be just kind of in sync, and really when they got out of sync, they put in the effort. I don't know. Maybe they were showing the effort all the time, but they just seemed to have a little bit of extra gusto and oomph tonight. The kind that I had seen when they had very successful seasons. There were a couple of seasons ago when, we would fall behind. We fell behind like 78% of the time or something, and then came back most of those games. So these are the Kings that I was seeing. So 1 goal, not a huge setback, not really going to do anything for them. And then Kovalchuk takes a penalty. And I say it like that because it was a very, very bad call. And the Kings felt that so much that they scored twice shorthanded. I mean, this is the kind of attitude I'm talking about tonight. They came out and just went, fine, whatever. So Kopitar and Brown came together for the first one. It was a lot of back and forth. Kopitar is the one that finally put it in the net, but both of them, I love seeing those 2 play together. Their chemistry has always been fantastic. So that was the first one, and it's 3-1, and that's looking good. But we're still on the penalty kill, so let's keep playing. And then Brown got another breakaway within like 2 or 3 seconds, like basically off of the face-off. He started his own breakaway rush down there, and he got a penalty shot called on him and does this beautiful thing with it. And suddenly it's 4-1. As excited as I am for the Kings, I'm actually starting to feel bad for Bobrovsky. Wow, I can't pronounce his name at all. That poor goalie, it cannot be an easy job. And 2 shorthanded goals that close together, that's rough. And it certainly ended any chance the Blue Jackets had of coming back in the 3rd period. It wasn't going to happen. Campbell was really sharp. He had been for most of the night. There were a couple of times where I thought, oh gosh, he does not have that at all. But 94% of the time, Campbell was really sharp and net. And I think if we can keep up trends like that, where Campbell stays solid and his defense looks alive in front of him and we can actually generate some offense, I mean, these are all good keys. And as frustrating as it has been to see the Kings not pursue those things effectively, it's nice to know it is possible. We have good enough players. If they click in the right way and put in a performance like they did tonight, this is not a team who is out. Yeah, they're 31st in the league, but it's November and it's early November, so if we take all of the good things that happen in this game, sure, I'm not expecting us to get 2 shorthanded goals every game, but the elements that led to those things, the aggressive kind of play and the really keeping at it and the chemistry that these lines are starting to form, I have more hope. Please don't let that come back and bite me.